Hello, welcome back. Now, Liverpool have become the top-earning Premier League club for the first time, according to analysis from financial firm Deloitte. And our chief correspondent, Kaveh Solhekol, is here to tell us more about that. Good to see you, Kaveh. Liverpool, top British club for the very first time. What is the secret behind their rise up the table?
Well, they had a brilliant season on and off the pitch last year. They won the title. They were in the Champions League as well. And also, commercially, they've been doing really, really well. And commercial income, for the first time, has overtaken broadcast income as to where clubs are making most of their money. And commercially, Liverpool have been doing well. Their commercial revenue up 7% last year. And one of the reasons for that is because since Anfield has been redeveloped, it has become a venue for non-football events. For instance, we've seen Taylor Swift play at Anfield. Dua Lipa, I think, played there as well. And also Bruce Springsteen had some concerts there too. So not only have they been doing really well on the pitch, but they've been doing really well off the pitch as well. And also remember, they didn't play in the Club World Cup in the summer. If they'd played in the Club World Cup in the summer, they probably would have made, I don't know, an extra 80, 90 million pounds from that as well. So they would have been even higher in the list and even closer to the top four clubs like Real Madrid, Barcelona, Bayern Munich and PSG.
Well, look, you mentioned those four clubs and you mentioned the Club World Cup, and I think that may well be part of the answer to my next question, because no English clubs in the top four. You mentioned those four European giants, which are. So what's going on there?
Yeah, it's a bit strange because normally, look, Real Madrid being top, that's not a surprise. I think, Manchester United were last top in 2017. Real Madrid have consistently been top. But it is strange not to have an English club in the top three. And I think the reasons for that now are that commercial revenue has overtaken broadcast revenue. And historically, of course, the Premier League is the richest league because it makes more money from broadcast revenues than any other league. But commercial revenues are even more important now. And you've got clubs like Real Madrid, Barcelona, Bayern Munich, PSG. Now, these are gold standard global brands. Yeah. And big companies want to be associated with Real Madrid, Barcelona, PSG and Bayern Munich. Having said that, of course, as you mentioned, 3 out of 4 of them played in the Club World Cup as well, so they would probably have made an extra 70, 80, 90 million pounds from playing in that. And also they're playing in the expanded Champions League. So they're playing more games, making more money from match day revenue, broadcast revenue and commercial revenue as well.
For the first time in the 29 years that Deloitte have been publishing this list, Manchester United are in the lowest position they've been in those 29 years. I remember before the Europa League final last year, people saying this is a huge game for Tottenham because they've gone 17 years without a trophy. It's a huge game for Manchester United because financially they need to be in that Champions League. How worrying for Manchester United that they are as low as they are?
I mean, it is worrying when you see it because I think for the first sort of period when this list was being compiled, it's been going now for 29 years. In those glory years of Manchester United under Sir Alex Ferguson, when they were winning everything and commercially they were ahead of everyone else, they were consistently top. But I don't think it's all doom and gloom for United, because if you break down these figures, for instance, their match day income, even though they're not doing that well, nobody in the Premier League makes more money from hosting games than Manchester United. Their match day income is still £166 million last year. Commercial revenue, £346 million. OK, Manchester City have overtaken them. Liverpool are getting very, very close to them as well. Their commercial revenue is kind of flatlining. But where they're really losing out is broadcast revenue. And the reason they're losing out on broadcast revenue, down about £40 million to £180 million, that is £100 million less than Arsenal, £100 million less than Manchester City, £100 million less than Liverpool. Why? Because they're not in the Champions League, and also they weren't in the Club World Cup. I think what Manchester United need to do is just get back into the Champions League. I think when they get back into the Champions League, expanded format of this competition, their revenues will go up by about £100 million. That is why they're so focused under Michael Carrick now of finishing in the top 4 or the top 5, because I think 5th place will get an English side into the
And you
Champions
mentioned
League.
Manchester's match day revenue. There will only be 20 games played at Old Trafford this season.
Exactly. So I think next year they may fall even further in this money list because they're out of the League Cup, they're out of the FA Cup, they're not playing in Europe at all this season. I think they've taken a hit from their deal with Adidas as well. That has gone down because they're not in the Champions League. So I think next year they'll be even lower, but if they get back in the Champions League, I think the good times will be coming back to Manchester United, financially at least.
Off the pitch at least, exactly.
Yeah.
Thanks, Kaveh.